Anyway, so here I want to introduce you to my friend Andrew Fogliato. We have known each other for years and years and years, and been in this space of technology for a long time. Andrew works with the Silver Burtnick team at Sotheby's International Realty on our Google stuff. He runs a company called Just Sell Homes.
Yep.
Yep, Just Sell Homes. So tell us about your normal market, Andrew.
So we're a digital marketing agency for agents.
Yeah.
Normally, I mean, spring, we're kind of bunkered down usually right now. Right now would normally be the last of the onboarding for like the people trying to ramp up for the spring market, but
Right.
more just hunkered down doing the main work for clients advertising their listings. So like that would be normal right now.
Yeah.
But
Now,
like right now it's a
you
little.
mentioned a few minutes ago that, well, in our previous conversation, sorry, that a lot of people have pulled back. I don't understand that.
Well, I think a lot is like, well, a lot of agents like live almost not quite paycheck to paycheck. I mean, some
Yeah.
do, but
Yeah.
like if they don't know it's going to be 6 months until they can even do deals again, I mean, a lot of people have pulled back from the uncertainty.
Yeah.
Especially because like some of them we talked to, the idea was like, we don't even know if the closings we thought were going to close are still going to
Yeah.
close.
Yeah.
So the first couple of weeks, we saw a lot of people pull back.
Yes.
I mean, we also had I'd say most of our clients who were like the top leaders in their market or like near the top stuck around. Very few of the like top 0.5%
Yeah.
left. So like most, and then some have actually like increased that spend because like the results now are across the board.
Huge.
Yeah.
Huge. I mean,
So,
it's we've never seen so much activity online.
yeah, it's
You know?
great
Yeah.
if you know how to do it. Like we've
Exactly.
seen people who have done some pretty bad ads and tone deaf stuff during
Yeah.
this.
Yeah. You have to be
But
very careful. Content. So how would you go about presenting things these days? How would that have changed?
so the strategy for the most part remains the same. It's just like the tactics and messaging we tweak. So like every listing we advertise, we tackle how we're doing it now head on.
Yeah.
So like before in an ad, we would never talk about how we'd show the property. Now we'll like walk through like, well, first, like we'll have a chat, we'll do virtual showing, we'll send you all this information.
Yeah.
And then if you do qualify for an in-person showing, here's the steps we take. Like
Yeah.
we'll put a big part of that right into the ad now.
Yeah.
And then even though like say you went and stood in front of the house and did a video in front of the property, and that's perfectly like social distancing, we've still seen negative comments around that. So even on that, what we've switched would be like, we take this, like a video like you in your office,
Right.
and then we would just superimpose a photo of the house and do the video that way. So even though like from a social distance perspective, there's not really a big difference there. The perception of you being out versus you being home are completely different. So we just like change some of the creative in that sense of like putting you in front of like.
Well, these days in the days of Zoom, I mean, I can go from being at home and I can be, hold on, let me see. I think I'll go out for a coffee. Where's my coffee? Oh yeah, I'm going to go out for coffee. Here I am. I'm in the coffee shop.
You do that all day.
And you're in the Central Park. Hey, exactly. So these are the things we can do now. So people think that you're out and about, but
have some fun with it too. And
I'm just flying around. I'm in the clouds, and when I get tired of the clouds, I head to space.
You never know where you might end up one day.
You never know. I know. So I love all of this stuff. So it's great stuff.
It's funny. Like I've been using Zoom for my business for years.
Yeah, me too.
Me too. Actually, jumping in.
It's funny because I've been a member of Zoom. I think I've had the account for a couple of years, and I was using it when I was talking to people in other countries, and then it sort of died down a bit, and then all of a sudden with this, it's like I'm here 5-6 times a day, constantly.
It's like getting tired almost.
yeah, meetings, webinars, and then I bought all these new little toys, like this thing, and I've got, everything for my iPhone, my everything, but you have to. It's the new normal or the new abnormal.
Yeah, and it's funny because like I've actually throughout like the Just Sell Homes kind of been prepared for all aspects of this from like obviously working from home all the time. But
Yes.
even like my wife was on mat leave, so I'm used to dealing with like working around kids' schedules to film videos. Because like we
Yes.
had both toddlers home while trying to film videos and stuff. So like we timed like right now I set up my Calendly for call bookings that generally only get booked during nap times.
yeah. Yeah.
Um,
So, quick personal question.
yeah.
How's the diet going?
Oh, it's not good. I've gained, I think, 7 pounds, or
Oh, see?
7. And then I basically like realized how bad it was getting. And I started to go back down again, but then I also started like ramping up my workout. So like as the
Yeah.
comes back, I've kind of like
Yeah.
plateaued, but I plateaued at a loss. So
Yeah. And
hopefully now
have you beat your brother in this journey or
he's
not?
done more than I have. So if that counts as a win.
Whoa.
Really
Yeah,
cool
it's just
stuff.
for those of you who don't know, Andrew and his brother had a race going on to see who can lose more weight
Just
or
the
more
first one
percentage.
under 200.
First one
That
under
was the goal.
200.
First one to get under 200 pounds. So, I mean, now I'm a lot further away than I was a month ago.
Yeah, I got on the scale today at 209, and that was pretty good for me. You know,
Yeah, I'm about 30 pounds heavier than that.
oh, well, hey, I feel really thin. But anyway, so tell me, I guess you don't really have to, the messaging is different, but there's not really, and you have to follow protocols at home, and you don't really, you're not out face to face with people. So Zoom, but, and people are starting to work again.
Yeah, well, we're seeing like, especially even on the real estate agent side, like clients being busier now. And then even
Yeah.
for me, like sales calls this week compared to last week is exponentially higher. Like,
Yeah.
Monday, because basically now with like the way it is with my wife who's still working full time, like I can't work Tuesday, Fridays essentially. I can't take
Yeah.
calls.
Yeah.
So for this week, like Monday and Wednesday, I'm basically back to back to back to back calls between onboarding new clients and sales calls.
Right.
Whereas like the weeks before, I would lucky to have like 2 sales calls a week.
Yeah.
So it's like people are comfortable now and kind of pushing back out again.
Okay, great. And so what are we seeing in terms of responses on Google activity, anything you can tell us about that? Because I know personally, I'm getting a lot more hits than I used to get.
So the organic searches are higher. I mean, so like Google, like the paid ads, definitely better results than before.
Right.
But it's not like what we're seeing on Facebook where like it's exponentially better in some cases.
Yeah.
Google, it's anywhere from like, we've seen anywhere from like a 5 to 20% drop.
Yeah.
Where we've
Yeah.
seen 50 to 80% drops on like Facebook. But I think part of the reason for that is people aren't searching as much, maybe necessarily, but also the competition's lower because so many people have pulled back. So
Yeah.
like, even if less people are searching, the rate at which people are advertising has gone down more. So we've seen that. Whereas like Facebook and Instagram, for example, like people are spending so much time on there now versus
Yes.
plus people
Yeah.
have pulled back. You see a bigger drop there. But yeah,
Yeah.
Google, like it still performs great. The biggest thing you have to adjust is like once you get someone now, how you follow up is a little bit different. Like you're not going as quick for like an in-person meeting, obviously.
No, you have to do this kind of meeting. Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting. I've had a lot of client meetings this way, which would never have happened before, but it's, I think it's going to become the new normal. It is going to become what we do all the time.
Well, I think that's
So,
what works well for me is like, there's a lot of people we work with who like, they have to have in-person meetings. And generally I try to save in-person meetings for clients.
Yeah.
Whereas like sales calls, it's a little bit different because like I'd rather qualify them over something like this first.
Yeah.
But some people are like, no, it has to be in person. I think now that's changing as people are willing to switch to this.
Yeah. So are we going to see you doing TikTok ads?
Unlikely.
Unlikely.
I'm not big on TikTok. I mean, if the ads end up working, I'll certainly be there at some point. But
I look at some agents who are doing them, and I'm quite impressed. But I don't know what visibility. I mean, I don't know if they have visibility. I'm not too sure what kind of return they would get on them.
So this is where like I've always looked at it is where's your audience? So for me, like
exactly,
my audience is real estate agents, which still means 90 to 95% Facebook. Like
yeah,
Instagram, I get good engagement, but business, I get way more from like almost like right now for me, Instagram is more like, it's seemingly more like ego stroking than it is.
Yeah. I I know people who absolutely love Instagram, and then I look at their Instagram posts, and it's picture after picture of them, a new makeup, a new hairdo, a new et cetera. It's nothing to do with real estate, nothing to do with their lifestyle.
One
It's
thing
all about
doing
them.
well there, it's the Instagram stories. So like your
Yeah,
posts, like that's a separate thing. Like I know people do very, very well on Instagram who might post once a month on like
yeah,
main feed. So like I still get a ton of engagement on Instagram, but
yes,
like we don't generally pick up clients there. But
no.
where it's hard to measure, for example, would be you see me on Facebook and you're in the groups. Like, does that help conversion? And I think it does, which is why
I
we
think it does. Yeah,
so for
yeah.
us, we look at it more of as like the community building than new clients, whereas like we get a ton of new clients off Facebook. So
And what about IGTV? Are you seeing stuff
I
there as
mean,
well?
we find still better results from just like the regular videos and keeping them
Yeah.
under a minute. So like even on longer videos, what we found is we'll carousel them. So
Yes.
instead of like just uploading it to IGTV, we just break it up and put it as a carousel video.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like IGTV still works and it has its purposes, but it's nothing like you would ever qualify as game changing.
And what about YouTube and YouTube ads?
Super
What are your
cheap,
thoughts?
hard to do well. I think most people will not do them only because to do a well done YouTube ad that's worth it, you got to put some serious effort into it. Whereas like Facebook, even a bad ad will still get you some decent results.
Yeah.
I think with Google, like Google to me, from a like creating the ad perspective, Google's a
Right.
lot more complicated on the placing the ad, but the actual like ad copy is easy. It's like, what's the easiest way to sell a horse? You just put up a sign that says horse for sale. Like that's
Yeah.
essentially
Yeah.
what you have to do with Google ads.
Yeah.
Whereas like Facebook and YouTube, you need to have the creativity. You have a lot more thought on that, where the actual
Yeah.
place is a little bit easier.
Well, and the competition's harder too.
Yeah, well, YouTube, there's not that much competition because
No.
of that issue where people are so bad at creating videos that most won't do it.
No.
So especially in the real estate world, you'd be surprised at how little competition there is. Like when we've run a couple for you, some of the videos you've sent us, normally the numbers are like really, really good.
Yeah.
But I mean, to craft something specifically. And then the other problem is if you focus a lot on YouTube organically, ads can hurt you. So the
Yeah.
reason for that is when you look at like a video on YouTube, for example, like one of the big indicators for YouTube to show you to more people is what's your average view time. So if people on average watch your videos for 5 minutes, they'll show you more than someone who gets an average of 2 minutes. But if your ads count towards that total. So if you have
Oh.
this ad that keeps getting watched for 10 seconds, that drags down your average view time. So like someone I
Yeah.
know who's very serious about YouTube, not in real estate, he actually set up like a fake account to run ads from, that the ads run from there. And if you go to that channel, it just points you to his other one. Because like
Yeah.
that's how big of an effect it was having. There's a little bit more nuance there of like figuring out, which is why most people don't do it, which is why the competition's so much lower.
See, I go back to the old school of, what was Facebook? I mean, I go back to the early days, and nowadays with the tags and everything, it's just so much more complicated. You have to be so much more of a student of the new media. I mean, it's really, there's constantly something new. You need a specialist, and in the early days, it was easy to be a specialist. It's not easy to be a specialist anymore.
Well, I basically like mostly at the beginning was self-taught for all of this because I had
Yeah.
to. I didn't have the budget to hire anyone, and but then I started liking that way more than actually selling real estate. So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
where
it's funny. It's funny. There's a client who is he did very, very well with artificial intelligence in the early days, and now he said he does sales because he's just so out of it. And in a couple of years, everything has changed so much that he just doesn't have the background to do the coding anymore.
Yeah, it's tough. Like even with Facebook, like if I went to Facebook today versus like when I started, like it'd be overwhelming. And like same
Yeah.
with Google. Like Google at the beginning, like when I first started running Google ads 7, 8 years ago,
Yeah.
It was relatively simple. You're just like, here's the terms. Now, like the responsive, dynamic, and like all of the different options. Like, if I just went in there today, not knowing what I know, like I wouldn't even know where to start for the most part.
Yeah. Well, that's like me. I go in and I go, what? What am I going to do? Well, yeah, that's why I turn to people like you, Andrew.
Appreciate it. Well, you are like my second longest client I've had. Yeah,
Wow.
one person's been around longer than you with my
longevity counts.
Yeah.
Anyways, thanks again for chatting with us. That's Andrew Fogliato, and he is with Just Sell Homes. And he's the man to get you on Facebook and Twitter. Well, maybe not Twitter, but LinkedIn. LinkedIn? What? We didn't even talk about LinkedIn. Yeah,
it's not that good. Like there's a time and place for it.
Yeah.
So I'd say like our main focus is like Facebook / Instagram, because like through the back end.
Yeah.
And then obviously like Google, we do
Google.
some. Twitter, 99% of people are going to use it wrong, so I just say don't do it.
Yeah.
And then the ads aren't that great on it. So similar to like LinkedIn, most people have done it wrong for so long that even though it's becoming valuable now, it's not.
Yeah. I think were it not for the President of the United States, Twitter would be gone by now.
Well, there's actually some really valuable parts of Twitter now.
Oh, listen.
I think different than Facebook, it takes a lot more work to curate that community.
Yeah.
Like now I spend a ton of time on Twitter. Like it's actually for me my #1 most used platform.
Really?
But I don't really use it for like real estate and like just sell homes. So like I follow like a lot of marketing people. So for me it's professional development, networking. And then like sports and politics, I watch a lot on there. But for me, it's more the networking, professional development value.
Yeah.
But if you take time to curate that type of network, the value is tremendous.
Yes.
Like I've had now some like one-on-one conversations with people who do ads for like Fortune 500 companies, because like for them, it's just like a regular office job. They're very happy to like take a call from someone.
Yeah.
But you have to have networked and built that relationship with them. So like it's interesting to get that perspective. So if you're willing to like invest time, and that's why most people do Twitter wrong, is they just put stuff out there. The real value of Twitter is treating it like a networking event.
Yeah, I think so. And anyways, again, say thank you very much. Stay safe, please.
You too.
And keep the family safe. And we'll look forward to more business in the future.
Sounds good. Hopefully when this opens up, we can grab a drink.
Yeah, we're going to share a beer.
Yeah.
A diet beer. Do they have diet beer? I don't know. I don't think so.
Not light beer. American
light beer. Yeah, exactly. Thanks, Andrew. Take care. Bye.